DC Multiverse! Following the universe-shattering events of Dark Knight's metal, the Earth is enveloped by the dark multiverse and has transformed into a hellish landscape, twisted beyond recognition. Willing to sacrifice his own humanity for the greater good, Batman wields an evil Black Lantern power ring, which grants him the power to resurrect the dead. Now, leading an army of zombies and riding a Batcycle made of bones, the Dark Knight wages war against the Batman who laughs and his omnipotent goddess Perpetua in his mission to save the DC Multiverse.
And what do we have in front of us today but the very same Batman and the Batcycle? Well, I don't know how there got to be so many bones on this Batcycle, and I don't really care. This thing is so metal. I've never seen a Batcycle that looks anything like this at any time ever, except in Dark Knight's Death Metal. I read the Dark Knight's Death Metal comic book series, and it was fun. It was fun for what it was. I'm still kind of in the middle of how I feel about where DC Comics is currently going with the whole future state, and then afterwards with the new frontier. I'll have to get back to you on that one, but geez, these look like a fantastic spitting image of the source material. The Batman figure, just look at this thing. It is fantastic. Just looking at all the buckles and the leather and just how, well, metal it looks. Of course Todd chose this Batman to make a figure of. He wasn't mandated by DC. He chose this, and of course he did, because it's right up his wheelhouse. This guy looks so fantastically molded. Todd has done a fantastic job faithfully reproducing the look of the death metal Batman. And there's a lot of really cool attention paid to detail here. The leather of his jacket actually looks, and oddly enough, because it's rubber, kind of feels like leather. The inside even is textured. That is fantastic. The pants, the suit, it's all got some fantastic texturing there and detail work. His team has done an excellent job faithfully recreating the look of Dark Knight's death metal Batman. That belt just covered in skulls. You got the chains made of a soft rubber, so they're going to move out of the way when we do the articulation segment. Down here on his legs, there's more buckles. I mean, there's buckles all down the legs here, but you got the scallops sticking out right here. They're actually not a super soft rubber. They're not hard, brittle plastic, but they're definitely not that really soft rubber. More spikes. A lot more spikes and chains. Faithfully created metal-looking gauntlets there. Textures all up the arms. More spikes. This is such a fantastic-looking figure. And I feel like they also nailed the head sculpt from the source material with this figure perfectly. Not only does the sculpt look very, very good, but so do the paint apps on this guy. Now, I'm not saying that the paint apps are perfect on this face, but they're certainly very, very good. I will take note, though, that right here the paint doesn't go into the corner of the cowl where it's supposed to. And, that's it. So like I said, they are very, very good. Batman's scythe is also very, very cool for a number of reasons. The reaping blade on the end of this thing actually kind of looks like part of the bat symbol, which is cool. They found a way to incorporate that in there. And then two, looking up close at the handle and just really the whole thing, you can see all of the work that went into sculpting this bad boy. And I was going to say painting it, but it really is just a simple brown. But the simple brown works, so no complaints here. This is a cool accessory. And now let's just take a moment to go back to Batman's Bat Hog, because this thing has really been sculpted fantastically. There is so much detail on here. Now, if you're a customizer and you want to take this the extra 9 yards here and paint it up even more and do something really cool with that, this sculpt has so much potential. But honestly, you could just leave this thing as is, and it will still look just as awesome. Because it's just crammed with detail. There's a little bat symbol there. They got the brake discs here. Almost like a little bat symbol theme for the rubber tire treads. And yes, the tires are rubber. And yes, the wheels turn really nicely. There's so much fantastic shading all over this thing. This is epic. It's not my favorite Batcycle ever made in terms of design, as in I like a more conventional Batcycle, but this is probably the most intricate, coolest looking Batman Batcycle that has been made, especially for the 6 and 7 inch scale. Again, rubber tires, they spin quite nicely, got that bat symbol kind of decor on the back there. Disc brakes in here, great big pipes, bat spinal column all along here. There's even texture on the seat here. This Bat Hog is a thing of sheer 7 inch scale action figure beauty. And before we get into sticking Batman on the hog and seeing what he looks like on his bike, take note that they each come with their own trading card. This is the trading card for the Batman. This is some fantastic artwork. And on the back it has the bio that I opened up the video with. And this is the trading card for the Batcycle. The back has a bio that starts very much the same, but ends a little bit differently. You could pause to read that if you'd like to. And before we stick Batman on the Batcycle, also, let's do the articulation, because we're going to have to fiddle with it to get him on the bike. So, you've got torso articulation, and this is a lot more articulated than you might think when you combine the waist and the torso ball joints. My goodness, that is a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Although I will point out that he can't really crunch down that much. Batman's head is on a ball peg, and that's actually really quite good. I like that, just for having a single peg inside the head. No hinge. That's very good. Again, we know that McFarlane figures have that rounded hinge with the little butterfly thing on the inside, as well as a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that, regardless of the suit, still crunch right up. And you've also got the wrists, which are those, as you can see, as usual, the ugly round balls. Good news though, they don't really stick out like a sore thumb with this figure. And down here, we can see that typical McFarlane groin with the hingy-do. Does he have any? Oh my goodness, that's a surprise. Batman's got a thigh cut. Batman has a thigh cut. The reason why I'm so surprised is because McFarlane figures don't usually have thigh cuts. Is this the first one that's had a thigh cut, actually, that I've reviewed? Now, underneath that gigantic knee pad, he also has crunchy double jointy knees. They don't really crunch that much, but I just really need to get him on that motorbike, so that's good enough for me. And, of course, the roundy, pivoty ball joint ankles with the toe articulation. And that's all, man. Let's get him on the bike now. All right, with scythe in hand, let's see how efficiently we can get this Batman on the Batcycle. He goes over like that. Nice how the trench coat just parts like that so that it can go over the back wheel. Very thoughtful, thinking ahead there. You got the hand, will it grab the... Oh, that's perfect. That black lantern ringed hand is a perfect fit for that handle. All right, next thing's next. Make sure his feet are both on the foot pegs. Yep, they reach perfectly. Ah, bazenga. Look at that. We got him on there and he looks perfect. And it rolls nicely. This is quality. This is quality. For the price, this is quality. So now that we've gone through everything, we've looked at the figure and the Batcycle and all the accessories that come with both. Well, really, Batman just comes with his scythe and both of them come with the trading card. What do I think about this? Do I like them? Do I love them? Do I hate them? Personally, I think that this Batman and the Batcycle are probably two of the best entries into McFarlane's DC Multiverse action figure line. And if I had to pick between this Batcycle and the Batraptor, I would likely choose this Batcycle. It's just so much fun to look at. So overall, I'm going to give the Batcycle and this Batman figure together a solid 10 out of 10. I come out the other end of this review thoroughly happy and completely impressed. Anyway, super friends, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you found this video to be an enjoyable, fun, enthusiastically informative waste of time for the afternoon. And if you did, you know where all the buttons are that do all this stuff. I invite you today to become a super friend and join the DC squad, and I will see you with the next one. Have a super awesome, fantastic DC day, everybody, and take care.